I'd like to call to order the July 2nd Natural Resources Board meeting. If we could all stand, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So have the roll call, please.
Ms. Moseblack?
Here.
Mr. Howland?
Here.
Ms. Ware?
Here.
Mr. O'Neill?
Here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the next order of business, we have the approval of minutes from May 7th.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion has passed. Okay, on to announcements. We have some board member positions and an event coming up, so I'll turn it over to Kim.
We have one regular and one alternate position available.
And then it looks like we have the junior, is this the Junior Women's Club, the same as last year? Okay. The Science Camp Oyster Garden visit on July 12th. Looks like we need 2 board members to volunteer. Do we have a time frame for that?
They usually take from 9 until 1. They'll have their lunch.
And where is it?
This is at the Oyster Garden. Our Oyster Garden site is over by Krabby Bill's. If you volunteer, I can send you a map there. We have an educational program that operates out of there, and then the Sebastian Junior Women's Club has a summer camp that ends up being about 35, 40 kids. We'll have the intern, Savannah, will be there as well. We just need some.
Do you need at least 2 or do you want more?
At
We've
least
done
2.
it unless someone else would like to trade off. I'm there if you need some.
I'll be happy to do it again, it's fine.
I'm unfortunately out of town. It's a busy summer, but yeah, thank you guys.
I would like to attend.
Yeah.
Great, okay, thank you. So the next item on the agenda, we have public input. Is there anyone who would like to provide public input?
Yes, I would. Can I? Hello?
Yeah, please come up. And if you could, just state your name and spell your last name for us for the record.
I'm Jane Schnee, spelled S-C-H-N-E-E, and I live in Sebastian. And a couple of things I wanted to talk to you guys about. Last summer, we were several groups, environmental groups in the area presented the idea of changing the landscape ordinance for less grass, more natives. Does anybody know where that stands? I know money was set aside, and an environmental consultant was supposed to start on it in December, and I stopped in and talked to Lisa Frazier at the end of February, and she said those funds had been diverted to some other project. So I'm just wondering where that stands now. It's so important with all the building, that's being proposed.
Well, we did put this area in here, this native garden area that's got some native species here that are right out here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we did put our demonstration garden in right out here, right in front here. So we did some work with native species right here in front.
No, I'm talking about the Sebastian landscape ordinance.
Where last summer we had reviewed our current ordinance and discussed a lot of the options, a lot of suggestions, and we have a list of suggestions, and we were hoping we would have a consultant, and that budget got slashed on that. However, it will be handled in-house, and we're looking to, it's beyond me, but I was told that it will be done this coming fiscal year after October. We will be reviewing the ordinance and looking where we need to make changes.
By the end of this October?
No, by the fiscal year, it starts in October. So it'll be at the end of the summer.
A year from October?
No.
This October?
Yeah, correct.
So in the meantime, 10,000 households will be built on the 1984 landscape requirements. I don't know.
Right.
I believe it was last updated in the 90s, 92, I believe. But it's it has to be handled in-house, so it will have to wait until the end of the summer, is the timetable I was told, to
And that's when you'll start on it?
begin the review.
Okay. Along those same lines, and I sent an email back in early June to Kim to forward to the Natural Resources Board. I don't know if you got the email, but I'm sorry, I'm hard of hearing. I might as well take these out. A couple of years ago, the Natural Resources Board and several other environmental groups put together this invasive plant brochure, and which has been very helpful. It's been very popular. We're about to run out of them, but and the Natural Resource Board was able to give $50 toward the printing costs, which was really, really appreciated. It was what gave us just enough to print these. Now I have the idea, and there really isn't a good brochure available anywhere that talks about just what we were talking about, the benefits of less grass, less native plants, and more native plants. The benefits being cut down on pollution, which is just, really bad. Well, you know all the advantages, I think. So Marjorie Shropshire, who's written and co-authored quite a number of books with Jenny Stiebold, she has recently moved to Sebastian, and she has volunteered to write the brochure pro bono, which is great. So I don't know if the Natural Resource Board has any interest in getting involved in submitting ideas that they would like to see in this brochure, or if you want to wait until the first draft comes along, and maybe you want to see it, maybe you don't. Maybe you want to chip in a few dollars again for printing costs.
Would Ms. Spiegel like to speak to the board? Would Ms. Spiegel, the author, would she like to speak to the board? Would the author like to be a speaker here? Like to present?
She might be willing to.
That would be wonderful.
You want me to
Yeah.
give her the contact information? You want me to ask her?
You can give her contact to me. I'll contact
Okay,
her.
I don't have
Absolutely.
her. Oh, yeah, I do have her email. Yeah.
Great.
Is this the carbon copy? So anyway,
I'm sure we'd like to lend some kind of support for this project, it's right up our alley.
even if even if eventually the landscape ordinance is changed for developers to put less grass and more native plants, there's so many homes that have already been built, and if we can convince people, to get rid of that grass and plant more natives, and get rid of the invasives that we have, I think it would be very beneficial. And a brochure is not long. Some people just don't want to read whole books, but they might read, a brochure that's about this size or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's probably something you might want to discuss.
I keep that one I keep that brochure in the field. I hand them out a lot.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. So this would be sort of the opposite of that. Of replacing invasive plants and non-native plants and grass, which is non-native, probably invasive, with natives, and the reasons for it. Okay?
Is it appropriate to ask what sort of budget
Thank you,
we would
Ms.
have
Schnee.
for something right at this point?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think she should speak. We'll invite her to the next meeting.
Okay, we're just curious what kind of a budget we have at this point. I know that we have, our primary costs come with the Earth Day Festival. Do we have any funds that are available that we could kind of commit to this type of a initiative?
I don't know what is left at this moment. I'll have to double check it.
Okay. Okay. Can we make sure that we put that on the agenda for next month, that we kind of review that, if that's okay?
And I'll
with
try to
you?
get the author to speak too.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay. I think this is also, and I know we'll be talking about the website later, but I think the information on the invasives should definitely be on there, information on how to, those benefits to decrease, the benefits of decreasing grass and increasing native habitats would be beneficial as well on the website.
When we were talking about our residential ordinance, we were talking about 60%, 40% non-native. Is that where we were when we were working on that before we shelved it for the Earth Day stuff?
When we made, well, I think, and the reason we went away from it is because we thought that the suggestions that we had put into, put all together were going to be put in, given to the consultants. So, yeah, okay. But I'm sure that those suggestions are still going to be considered.
How it will be is it'll be more developing a task force within the city. And I definitely expressed that we would want NRB participate,
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Any other questions or comments? Okay. All right, so we'll go next to new business. We have on Saturday, July 27th, the Treasure Coast Waterway cleanup. So this is from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. by the Main Street Boat Launch. Kim, I'm going to turn it over to you just so you can explain exactly what the Natural Resources Board is responsible for, because I've never done it before, if you don't mind.
Sure. So at 8 o'clock, the Natural Resource Board, basically we're sponsoring the Main Street Boat Dock. So different organizations. The next one down is at the Wabasso Causeway, and the ELC has that one. And we're going to be cleaning along that whole waterfront area. They're also working with some regular partners for this event with boats, and we'll be looking to bring some people on boat out to the Spoil Islands and along other pieces of shoreline that they regularly clean as well. So basically, yeah. They have a lot of materials. They're even going to set up like special cardboard garbage cans for us to put everything into, and they have the buckets, and so do we.
So hours for the board members would be 7:30 or
8 to 12:30.
Yeah, there are enough boats, because it sounds like basically show up with a strong back and a pair of gloves. Compared to, I have kayaks, don't bring kayaks because it may be too slow and doesn't hold very much.
Yeah, and that's the main thing. You really can't get much on it. It sounds like, I spoke with April again today, that's the coordinator that was here and spoke. It's a really well-organized event. They have a lot of volunteers that regularly provide their boats, and I know that maybe within the city we can get one as well. But there's a lot to clean up just along the boat dock area as well, so we'll start there.
Okay.
Are we going to target our Spoil Island, the city's Spoil
And
Island?
that's what I suggested, is that we would like a chance to visit those islands and assess them, so that would be a great opportunity all around.
Are gloves provided, like any PPE we might need being provided if we have to wear something like
I asked her for a list. She has a safety list that says what to bring, what not to bring, what they provide. She tried to email it to me and it wasn't coming through, so I think it got caught in the firewall. But I'm going to get it and send it out to all of you this week. One more thing, at the next city council meeting, Wednesday, July 10th, they are doing a city proclamation declaring that entire week, the 22nd to the 27th, Coastal Cleanup Week. And as they are a small organization, they were hoping that an NRB board member would be able to attend the city council meeting just to accept that proclamation.
Wednesday.
That'll be July 10th at 6 p.m.
One of us will be there.
I can't, because I'll be in a class in Bureau that day. So.
I think I can do it. I think we leave shortly after. I think we leave on Thursday to go out of town. Excuse me. So I think I can be there on the 10th.
That would be great.
Yeah. Do we know what so the proclamation's already written up? This is something that Ms. Price had.
It's just that they'll say it and then they need someone to accept it and get a picture, and that's them.
Okay. Do we need to go over board members being able to be there on Saturday, July 27th?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Do we have people who are able to attend on that Saturday?
Yes, I can.
I can.
Plan to.
I can too.
Okay, all right, thank you. Awesome.
Is that unanimous for the four of you?
Yes.
Okay. So on the next item, we've got the Natural Resources Board website update. So we're reorganizing and looking for suggestions. So I think if we look in our packet, this is the last page.
Just flip the whole thing over, it's right in the back.
I'm missing a packet. Do you have an extra?
Thank you. So basically, the site was fairly out of date and had a number of broken links because things we connected with just didn't exist anymore. So I just kind of stripped down the menu and started with just the menu and sub-menu items. So that's what you have on the back page. Those aren't set in stone. It was just a guideline. And we certainly want to have a sustainable business main one. Start there.
I'm wondering if, like, these little tiles that we have here, is it possible to turn those into kind of the main ideas? Like, we can have the Florida-friendly yards, and that takes it
Yeah.
into information.
I think it's important to have one for the fertilizer ordinance.
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely.
So we'll keep a fertilizer one, but anyway, not the tags, but just fertilizer ordinance. It's just something I get a lot of contact about, so it can link them to the county site. That's really informative on that. And I have to have a stormwater link. But we can change these. We can add more, take them away, but.
Are you doing this, Kim? Or you have a consultant doing it?
I don't design websites. I'm just laying it out. But our team's really good.
I'm assuming there's, recycle is under environmental links or something on the side menu?
Yeah, we could put, environmental
that's
links
not a bad
before was
idea.
a lot of, links to a lot of great sites. That'd be a great place to put like Surfrider connection. And we'll probably put Letter Quitter under sustainable business, and, or sustainable Sebastian.
Okay.
Like I recently got a flyer at my house, and it was talking about the things that you can include in recycling. Is there information we could add at our little recycling tab itself?
Yeah. I'm sure we
I
Instead
think
of a
this
link.
is the home page right here,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Right.
I think we're missing, right here is a great opportunity to put something like that, that everyone needs education on. I know that that's a challenge in the county right now.
Yeah, I feel like,
My first impression is this is really hard to read, this
Yeah, no one's
this
gonna be
writing
reading
here, and like really, everybody is so click-through crazy that, and having all that verbiage there, while it's nice
I
that
agree.
that we have a statement that's so verbose,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that most people are looking for solutions and would rather go straight to a Florida-friendly lawn if they're, something like that. And one thing I would say too is, for new residents, have a new residence, thinking of moving or something like this, don't make the mistake that so many people made by buying invasive species for your lawns, So that would be something that would be, a new welcome to Sebastian, new homeowner, link. Here's different resources with different Florida-friendly gardeners and landscape maintenance organizations or something like this. I don't know.
Is that a good place to tie in the invasive plant?
Yeah, there's the lagoon-friendly lawns. That's also a
Right, under
beautiful program
lagoon-friendly
that.
lawns,
But we can change that as that could be a sub-menu of landscaping, something.
Or even just keep the big boxes, but just change them around, because really our priorities should be, non-invasive plants, recycle and reuse, reduce, reuse, recycle.
yeah.
So,
So a lot of websites that I go to have like pull-down menus, so about, you know, you have the
That's
whole
what the
page.
sub-menu
yeah.
at the bottom, so when you, it'll say lagoon-friendly lawns, right? And then next to it, it has titles and quotes. Those are the sub-menu items that'll pull up when you click on those.
And then on the main page, it also then has the latest news. So you have the as you were saying, these are the things for the pull down the top, and then the most newsworthy, like I guess our recent event for Earth Day might be a current, or more about what we're doing for sustainability with the single-use plastics, but put that as the text that you see on that, and then you can click off and get more details as well.
Or even,
Like when we had the Earth Day, if anyone noticed, there was a banner right here that promoted Earth Day, and you click, and then it took them to the application, vendor applications, and it's like that. Whatever we have going current should stay updated.
a at-a-glance calendar might be good too, since we're actually working more with other organizations and we're co-sponsoring. Maybe have this month at a glance on here, and then you could
Like an events
highlight
calendar?
different links to the different organizations that are sponsoring the functions.
What events are going on, yeah. And you can continue submitting ideas to me. Like I said, this isn't, I just kind of threw this out as, let's start with, these are some things, and clear out the stuff that were dead on the menu. And it's going to keep building. And we also, we had environmental links, and went to the page, and it had it by category of different items. A lot of those links were dead, but it was a great reference, and we actually got a lot of feedback that people visited those sites a lot. So that's something we want to do again, but I think all of us environmentally minded all have different sites we like to visit for certain things, so send them my way. You have my email. That's how we're going to build it to what we want it to represent us.
Well, then going back to Brian's comment on the verbiage, maybe they'll learn to read fertilizer tile. Learn to read a fertilizer tag tile could be more like fertilizer ordinance and application news or something, and then have a bunch of sub-menus there on the ordinance and any changes and how to read the tags and so on.
Yeah, I already marked it out and wrote.
And turn it into clickbait.
Yeah, exactly.
You still might be able to, I mean, you could basically turn that whole little paragraph up there as, you know, reminder, no fertilizers from June to October. For more information, click here.
June 1st, we should stay there through October.
Or
Yeah.
even have a banner, we are in no fertilizer season.
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Warning.
I
Yeah.
can get that up there tomorrow. And then we could add, if they click on it, it'll click to the county. They have a really good site on that.
Yeah, I agree too. The recycling that would be a good one to kind of reinforce that message from the Department of Solid Waste Division.
Yeah, we all got that this week in the mail, right?
Okay.
Like a button for the recycle.
Sure, yeah.
Well, these buttons are much more friendlier than the brown ones.
Yeah,
I mean, people are going to go to those big ones first before they read all this other stuff.
they really,
And I wish I knew more about website design, then I could explain how these are different. I don't know exactly, but we'll work on it.
I think we need to make sure that it's mobile friendly, because one of the issues that I have with my phone is when I Google something and I go to a website, a lot of these menus I don't see them, or they are non-operational, or you have to hover, or those types of things. So we have to make sure that it's mobile friendly. And if we need to come up with some distinct little tabs that they're clicking on instead of the menus, I think that we can.
I particularly don't like the font that we have the heading in.
Yeah, it's very odd. It's outdated. Okay. Any other input?
For now.
We'll forward
Okay.
any other ideas that we have.
All right, old business, we have Sustainable Sebastian. Cam, you have an update on the litter quitter communication?
Yep. So where we're at, they're waiting for a grant. Of course, implementing it full into the city takes some funds that we don't have and they don't have. But in the meantime, we need to focus on what we can do without those resources. And there's plenty that we can do. We're a talented board right now, and I think I would hate to see it just stall out on because we're waiting for a grant. So Brian O'Neill is the contact on that, and we're going to work with Litter Quitter, and we're going to get a training event so we can start certifying businesses. And maybe we don't have the other materials yet, maybe but we can get businesses certified. We can probably get some stickers. We can definitely market them on our Facebook and websites.
And if we get some volunteers here that want to pick up this type of torch, we've already got it in place when it rolls out, if it rolls out through Keep America Beautiful. So I would say we move ahead with Litter Quitter, rolling it out here in Sebastian, with or without any funding from Keep America Beautiful.
Right. Yes. Focus. And it was Sustainable Sebastian. It wasn't just Litter Quitter. So there's other elements.
So we'll move forward as Sustainable Sebastian for now, right? And then we can adopt into or add on Litter Quitter.
But also it was suggested by staff that, we could work on establishing a guideline for reducing waste in all businesses, something that could be utilized, could begin at City Hall, would be ideal. If you think of that as something that could be applied to all businesses. And there's probably something already out there. If you spend the time looking, fine, we could tweak it a little bit. But if it just involves, emailing, copying, Facebook or website, it's free, basically.
So is this the type of thing where we can try and kind of do research and see what is out there, what other cities have done, and kind of adopt it here locally? Is this something that we need to go to city council members to kind of officially
If it's just a guideline
endorse?
for reducing waste, we don't need to for that. But
I feel like it would be nice for this for the city council to kind of officially adopt that this is something we're working toward.
Probably by the time we can get that guideline cemented, that we'll have a training event planned for Litter Quitter, and I'd like to see us be prepared to approach city council for support, even if it's just for a general framework of Sustainable Sebastian.
Okay.
I want to preface the next statement by saying I'm not suggesting that we're making change to what we currently have in motion, but I saw in the news that Orlando is now going to have any events on city property or all city property, parks and city-owned space and lands will not allow for single-use plastics. So I'm not saying we should take steps in the right direction, and I think we're doing that, but for further down the line as maybe a next step after we get the initiative going, see how this all works in Orlando, even with the state law banning such.
There's a great guideline out there for reducing waste at events. It's really neat. When it comes to bottled water and sodas, it's tricky because we wanted to for Earth Day, and I called a million places, and those water trucks are very expensive. So it may be something where the only cities like Tallahassee, they had their own water truck that they put the money in and had it built for them. Right. And Orlando, I would guess, probably did the same thing, but that's beyond our city's resources because they are very expensive.
If you've ever been to a festival, you've seen these water refill stations, right? That you bring your recyclable water, your thing to. They can't be that expensive. I mean, that would be it. How expensive are they?
Can we retrofit?
I researched them very well for Earth Day. I was determined that we were not going to have bottled water. They are very expensive.
What about, so the retrofits, are you talking about like the, can't think of it, the water fountains, the little things that go on the top to retrofit those?
That's a thought. I really don't know.
So I've looked into them for the high school, so I'm sorry but I want to say there is a range of them, anywhere from like $500 to $1,000 each. I think we only have one water fountain or we have the one restroom there.
It's not enough for an entire event, though.
It's a start. And, I mean, they just added them to one of the county golf courses, Sandbridge. They put them all through the golf course. So that's county money, right? So it's something I think we can put on the table for discussion and moving forward. Like I said, start the initiative that we have, get going, get some traction, get awareness, and I think it can grow and build from there.
I think that what you're talking about with what happened with Orlando and, the city being the example and kind of starting first, what we're trying to do, what you just mentioned with trying to reduce usage of resources here at City Hall, we have to look at events as well, because events probably generate so much more than what you have going on here in this building.
Just like what you're saying with the candy wrappers at the Christmas parade.
Yeah, can we, so are these the types of things, I mean, I think that this might be something we have to address, whether it's under Sustainable Sebastian, whether it's just the Natural Resources Board suggestions for going up to City Council. I think we need to kind of do this.
Yeah, I'd like to come up with a list of things, bring awareness to City Council so they can understand that the events that are coming through, these are the things that we're recommending that we do for those events.
Yeah.
City Council does pay attention to our meetings. They do know what's going on, and they do make comments on it, so.
Can we
they do
have a
know.
conversation with them? I mean, is that,
I've never had a conversation, I don't.
no?
Well, if we were to say, if we were to recommend passing a single-use ban, what would their recourse be? They would have to accept that, right?
It's not that simple. I don't know.
They still have to vote on it.
Yeah.
We can recommend all we
Right.
want, but they'll have to vote
But
on
yeah,
it.
they
Right,
will
so we
have
have
to
to-
vote on it. But I mean, in this day and age, who's going to vote against banning single-use plastic?
Well,
out
they're
of-
going to argue costs, is what they're going to.
But as we've seen from, with the information that we've received from the various programs that are out there, cost isn't really an issue anymore. It's more perception than anything else, really.
Well, I think if you sweep so broadly as all single-use plastics, I know that, you approach them one thing at a time. It seems small, but it's a step. There's the straws, and then there's the styrofoam, and you kind of take it piece by piece. If you just sweep it all, it's a lot for small businesses to take at once.
So is it possible to say that, can we build in a timeline? Are we able to build can we build our own proclamation or ordinance of some sort? I don't know if I'm using the right word. But can we put something together where these are our official recommendations on city property, that we start to phase out single-use plastics? No more straws, styrofoam, and no more straws and styrofoam at city events. Plastic bags should be, find an alternative by this date. And I'm not saying that we're all, I'm just giving an example.
Giving ideas.
Yeah.
I think
Like
a
6 months for
two-year
example.
timeframe for
Right.
eliminating it would be,
Yeah,
by that
so
time,
that people know it's coming.
I'm sure the state will have moved against Orlando.
Aquafina just announced they're going to be making canned water. Why has that taken so long to happen? But that's amazing. That's something great for events, for sure.
So hopefully by the time, those things are phasing in, there will be the cultural and social pressure that those needs will be able to be met more easily by the businesses. Yeah, Ruth, you started it with, I don't want to start something new, but I don't know, how do we?
I just think you take one step at a time, that we're on a path to start the initiative, and then we continue with the next things. Even if we outline for them the direction of where we want to go, we're starting with this, and here's the next things we want to bring on. We can go through and kind of give them
Like a sustainable Sebastian game plan.
Yeah, yeah.
Sustainable
A
Sebastian
trajectory of
would
some
be
sort.
to eliminate single-use plastics in Sebastian by 2025 or 2024 or whatever.
We can start with one recommendation, move to the next, one at a time, and, as long as we're moving forward.
Okay. I think that's.
Change doesn't come quickly.
No, but I think you have to have the conversation, and I think it needs to be out there. So we, I guess, looking at next steps for trying to reduce waste in Sebastian, beginning at City Hall. Kim mentioned needing to, see, or not needing to, but potentially finding something else that's out there. Should we all kind of maybe do just a little bit of research, or does someone want to take?
There may be a guideline out there that's perfect,
Yeah.
there's no need to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
But we could build on that, and, we have the ability to contact everyone who has a registered business in Sebastian. We have their emails on one email list, so we have a way to contact.
So maybe each person, if you find maybe one or two kind of decent articles out there, and then we can forward those links to that document to you, Kim, and then maybe do the same with a list of what your personal priorities would be, what you think we would put on that list of that kind of game plan for Sustainable Sebastian in terms of the city and the city events, how we can become a role model.
If you find a link or a PDF you send to me, then I'll send it out to board members.
Right. So we have to go through you. So this is no longer Earth Day event, so we can't.
Correct.
Right. So everything goes through you, and then it comes back out to us. Okay. Does that sound like a game plan?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. All right, cool. Anything else that people want to discuss regarding that matter? Okay. Member matters is up next. I think we've discussed everything. Okay. All right. Items for the next agenda. There's nothing there. Kim, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add or
Brought up the,
We can we pick a count? When I talked to Caitlin today, she said, yeah, just pick a date.
Oh, yes.
And so
Volunteering.
I think maybe 2 months down the road from where we are now would give us plenty of time to get information out on our website.
I think it should be before school starts.
Okay,
It's
so
August, right, here.
August,
Sorry, I'm from the north.
you're back to the 5th, so we want you to
But
be there.
I would really, really like to
Yeah,
be
we
there.
should-
I really want Nikki to be.
let's
This was
say,
her thing from the
what
start,
about
and
the
she
week
keeps
of
missing the
August
meeting,
10th?
so.
I don't have my calendar with me.
Do you
So
need
if we
a
do
calendar?
something in the afternoon, if we do something at like 3:30, I can make it regardless of, on most days.
And let them know we can host it here. We just have to coordinate with the,
So let's see here.
I don't have anything.
Or maybe, okay, so you're, okay, well, the 10th, we're going to be, 13th,
August 13th.
12th, 13th, somewhere in there.
That's my first and second day of school, which is like, I would love to say that I'm going to be out of there, but I'm just out.
You get back on the 5th, right? So maybe.
So the week of the 5th is actually teacher work days.
Okay.
So those are not, easy, but I should be out by 3, so if we can schedule something at 3:30.
So which day is easier for you? Any particular one? And anybody else? Any comments? I'm open that week, so.
Wednesday is probably easiest for me.
Okay.
And this is outside of the normal board meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
it's just a training meeting for Litter Quitter.
Right. And
So that would be August
No
7th.
board member items will be discussed, or no decisions will be made.
Right.
That would be August.
So Wednesday, 7th.
Notice that we meet the night.
Oh, we do meet
before.
the night before.
Well. July, we're got stuff on that.
It might be the kind of thing, I already have, some of my students are interested in trying to do this type of thing down in Vero, because that's obviously where they live. I don't know if the end of August might be something, school has started, but if it's something.
I don't think school has anything, we're not losing volunteers to school for this, and are we? We can go end of August, I'm fine with that.
I just suggested before school, because I want to make sure Nikki could be a part of it, so.
Yeah, as long as it's 3:30 or after. Do you think that would be a time?
That's fine with me. You want Thursday the 8th to give us a day after the meeting? Because we are going to be in our meeting on Tuesday the 6th.
What if we did it on Tuesday before our meeting?
Do it on
Fine with
Tuesday
me.
before the meeting?
That actually might be easier for me. No.
Is Monday, the 5th?
No,
Oh.
like before, on Tuesday, the 6th.
Before 6 PM.
Yeah, before 6 PM.
Okay. That's fine with me.
Kind of coordinates well.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll plan on that?
NRB, yep.
Okay.
And you'll let us know the time then, when you get that set up?
I will go, yeah, we'll get the time. Mhm.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So Saturday, the 27th, I'll be there a half hour early with a sign-up list for volunteers. Feel free to bring non-NRB people. It's not like it's a, official, only NRB.
Can you help me with the location to show up again? I know it'll be in an email.
The Main Street boat docks, you just follow Main Street all the way to the water. We'll be there. Won't give sign.
Are you going to send us out something we can post on some social sites?
Yeah, she was trying to send it to me today, and it wasn't coming through, but we'll get it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Are we good to go?
A motion,
Motion to
we adjourn?
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.